Meet Frank Khalid, Britain's most unlikely movie mogul. Film studio bosses have often been portrayed as champagne-drinking, cigar-chomping, larger-than-life characters who live, sleep, and breathe movies. That of Frank, 54, was the owner of a cash-and-carry business who had no interest in making movies when he bought a disused film studio, intending to turn it into a venue for weddings. But when the local council rejected his plans, he was left with a stark choice: lose money or go into the movie business. That was 16 years ago, and now his foray into the screen world, West London Film Studios, has become so successful that he is just about to open a second studio complex costing £23 million, which has been described as the Rolls-Royce of the industry. Along the way, Frank has become pals with Hollywood A-listers such as Mark Wahlberg and Jason Sudeikis, star of Apple TV's Ted Lasso, which was shot entirely at the studios in Hayes, Middlesex. On any given day at the studios, he could bump into the likes of Emma Thompson, Anthony Hopkins, Benedict Cumberbatch, Bradley Cooper, Matthew McConaughey, or Helen Mirren. But for a movie industry hotshot, unassuming Frank likes to keep a low profile. In 2015, Renee Zellweger was just finishing a day's filming at the studios in the title role for Bridget Jones's Baby when the quiet, dark-haired man passing by politely inquired, "Hello, how are you?" She said she was fine, then asked him, "And what do you do here?" Frank says, "She was surprised when I told her I own the place. Once she realized I wasn't joking, we had a nice chat. Then, as everyone was clearing up for the end of the day, she helped to sweep the canteen floor. You don't get stars doing that." Renee, whose later Oscar-winning Judy Garland biopic Judy also used Frank's studios, clearly made a lasting impression on him. He says, "She was very down-to-earth and one of the nicest people you could ever meet." Frank, from Essex, started off his business career with the cash and carry in 1984. It had some land with it, so he built a restaurant next to it, and it was soon a success. He recalls, "We wanted to expand because we were getting requests from the Asian community for big weddings. I heard about a studio that had gone into liquidation and bought it in 2006 to convert into a wedding hall. But Hillingdon Council didn't want to do a change of use. They wanted it as film studios. I tried to sell it to get my money back, but the crash came along in 2008 and it didn't happen. Then I found out that the government had just brought out a 25% tax break for making films in Britain, and all of a sudden there was a demand for studio space. I spent a few million refurbishing the whole property. Then we changed the name to West London Film Studios, and we haven't looked back. It really was a total accident, but it's been absolutely fantastic. Suddenly, out of all my businesses, it became the one that was doing really well."